What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Chris Gunther Show. Thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure that you like and share this video. I would greatly appreciate it. My special guest tonight has been killing it all over social media. He's hosting, he's reporting. So without any further ado, the Chris Gunther Show welcomes Jason in the zone. Fisher, what's going on with you, Jason?
What's up, man? Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here with you.
Man, thanks for taking the time out. You are a very busy man. You were literally just hosting so many events this past weekend for All-Star Weekend. So congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a dream come true being a kid who grew up in Cleveland, an NBA fan, to uh, be hired by the NBA to cover it in so many ways and get to interview so many legends. It really was, for me, like a full circle dream come true. It was so much fun.
Take me back through that process. Like what was it like getting handpicked by the NBA to host All-Star Weekend?
Like I said, it really was a dream come true. It was crazy. I remember like it was yesterday, 1997, when the NBA All-Star Game was last in Cleveland to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the NBA and honor the 50 greatest players. I was a kid who was a diehard NBA fan. I went to the Fan Fest. It was called NBA Jam Session at Cleveland Public Auditorium. I was able to get a ticket in like the last row in the rafters for the All-Star Game. And it was like as good as life could get. I remember just being it felt like a kid in a candy store, just in heaven, meeting my idols, seeing my heroes for the first time. It was a dream. And then 25 years later, when the NBA comes back to celebrate 75 and honor the 75th greatest in Cleveland again, for the NBA to work with me and hire me to be their host at that same building, Cleveland Public Auditorium, for their Fan Fest, NBA crossover, and to be in the building, same building, new name, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. I couldn't have like pictured. I don't know. I don't even know the words to describe it. It really, I just keep saying dream come true. That's what it felt like. I just felt so grateful, so lucky. I do a lot of hard work and grinding behind the scenes to prepare myself for these opportunities when they come along. But I feel guilty almost that I got paid to do it because like don't tell them, like I probably would have paid them for the opportunity to do that. It was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun, me on my side too, because I was hosting the first ever Next Gym G League game, and
Yeah.
it was incredible. But I was just like, man, one day I want to get onto that level when the NBA personally contacts me to do it. What would you say was your favorite moment from All-Star Weekend?
Oh man, there's so many. I mean, for me personally, though, there's a couple that stand out. Three in particular, all at the NBA crossover space. I got to interview Evan Mobley up on stage. I was the official host for the NBA at the NBA draft this year. I got to talk to all the players the day before they were drafted, and they did kind of the media circuit, and Evan Mobley was one of them. And then there on draft night, I was the host of the red carpet for the NBA, and Evan got to talk to him in his draft day fit. And then he's drafted by the Cavs, my favorite team, my hometown team. So I went up to him and his family, and he was so excited to tell him how much he's going to love Cleveland. And then to see how well he's been playing in Cleveland, and now with the All-Star break, to be like do a 30-minute interview on stage with Evan, that was a really cool, meaningful experience for me, and got to know him and his family a little bit. But getting to interview Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Dominique Wilkins for an hour
I
on
was watching.
stage. Oh, thanks, man. That was wild. That the whole time I was there was like, what does not belong here? Like on this stage, that is clearly me. Like, how did I sneak up on here? But the most meaningful was probably a panel that I hosted about the 1997 All-Star Weekend, for the same reason that I just told you, how I remember it like it was yesterday, being that kid there, and now hosting a panel about it with Sean Kemp and Dikembe Mutombo, two of my favorite players growing up, exactly, who were All-Stars in 97. That was really cool. And I was even wearing a 1997 NBA All-Star jersey that
Yes,
I bought
sir.
when I was a kid with my name on the back, and it was way too big
Hey.
for me back then, but it fit me. And I was like, 10-year-old Jason would have been freaking out and really proud of where I was at that stage. So that was just like really, really special, really cool.
You and I have something in common. You interviewed Dominique Wilkins on stage. I interviewed him on my show back in April.
Yeah.
And, I totally wish I could have been in Cleveland to tell him thank you, face to face. But,
Mhm.
we all know that you got to have a certain level of pull, and you got to have a certain level of, just credential to get there. And I'm not there yet, but if I keep working, I'm on my way. But, let's, take me back through, your journey, man. You said that you're from Cleveland, Ohio. What was it like growing up there for you?
I loved growing up in Cleveland. Good people from Cleveland, Ohio. So much of who I am and the pride that I have and the heart of my work ethic and all of that comes from Cleveland, from my friends, my family, my surroundings, my neighborhood, and I'm always repping 216, as you see so many Clevelanders do. Like there's a certain type of pride from being from that city and that area, and I had a great childhood. I always loved sports, which wasn't easy being a Cleveland sports fan. It showed you, but it made me tough and resilient, showed you how to overcome obstacles and losses and deal with heartache and hardship. But it was fun. And from a young age, I knew that I wanted to perform. When I was a kid, I was a actor. I was in TV movies, commercials, plays, loved doing that. And then when I was in high school, the Cleveland Browns had left and became the Baltimore Ravens. And there was a
Hmm.
period of about 5 years where there was no professional football in Cleveland. So when the team came back, I was in high school. They wanted to get a younger audience interested in the team who didn't grow up with football for those years. So they had a Saturday morning kids show on the local NBC affiliate called Browns Blitz and an open casting call. Thousands of kids showed up to a hotel one weekend to audition, and I got picked as one of the main hosts. And it was like beyond a dream job. I didn't even know that this was an opportunity, something that existed where rather than acting and playing a role, I could just be myself, but get to know the players and hang with them off the field and in the locker room and, their days off and play Madden against them. And I was like, this is what I want to do for a living. This is amazing. And that's really when like a light bulb went off and I was like, this is kind of the path that I want to take in the journalism, sports journalism, broadcasting, hosting, all of those worlds, or still performing, but rather than playing someone else, be myself and marry my passions for sports, the NBA, athletes with what I'm able to do for a living.
And you have done that. You continue to climb that ladder, but we all know that there's steps in the process. And you went on to do some amazing things covering college, in the Big Ten and things of that nature. What was that experience like?
That was great. For a few seasons, I hosted a show called Tailgate 48 on the Big Ten Network, where I would go to every Big Ten campus the weekend of their biggest game of the year. So, Ohio State, Michigan, whatever it would be. And if you had 48 hours on each campus, I would show you how to live it up, where to eat, where to tailgate, where to party, interview players and coaches from other sports, on that campus. And then it would end being on the field for that big college football matchup. So, it was the ultimate food travel show about sports and another bucket list opportunity that's like, I'm getting paid to do this. I would pay to do that. This is wild that I get to do this. And it was a lot of travel and a lot of work, but a lot of fun. I mean, and now even to this day, if you name like a Big Ten school, I'll tell you, oh, you got to go to this place and order this and to ask for this person. And like, you get to know all the traditions, the customs, the culture around those campuses. And for me, that's what I love most about sports. It's not just the 3 hours that you're in the arena or in the stadium. It's the culture, the tradition, the food, the family, the experiences, the superstitions, the rituals that come with being a sports fan. And that's kind of like the world that I love telling stories in.
I can pick up on that too because I started following you on social media when you started hosting things for pro camps. And I
Yeah.
had, seen, I think it was one event that you hosted. I believe it was for, they were, I think it was Team USA. They were playing basketball somewhere around
Yes.
there. And I was
Yeah.
looking, I'm like, man, I want to do what this guy does because I'm a basketball fanatic. As I was watching NBA All Star, the game this past weekend. And then, when I got a chance to meet a lot of those people, I was like, man, right now I'm just a guy that nobody really knows. But to see people such as yourself really persevere and really push through, that inspires me. So, take me back. Like, what was it like for you when you first started hosting, especially and particularly in the NBA?
Oh, well, thank you for those kind words. I really appreciate it. I mean, hosting for the NBA has always felt like just I keep using the same words to describe it, like a dream, but it feels like that. You know, the fact that I've just always grown up a big NBA fan. My favorite show when I was a kid was NBA Inside Stuff with
Yes,
Ahmad Rashad.
sir.
Yeah, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. So when I get to do things that are like that and be closer to the game of basketball and to these incredible athletes and teams and players and legends, it really feels like, I don't know, a cheat code. It's like for me, a camera and a microphone are the keys that I've been able to use to unlock doors to meet amazing people and go to incredible experiences. So whatever it is that anyone who's listening this or watching it, whatever they have a passion for, figure out what your keys are that can unlock access to those things. And for me, that's what it's been. And it's just I'm always grateful. The hard work in what I do is the stuff behind the scenes that no one sees. The hustle, the follow up, the follow through, the persistence, the close calls and the rejections where I'm in second place for things that I didn't get and all that. That's the hard work. When I'm actually working, when I'm actually getting paid to do one of these jobs, that's not work at all. That's like the dream. That's the fun stuff. And I hope that, you know, the passion that I have and the fun that I'm having translates on camera, on screen, in real life, because that's what I think people gravitate towards the fact that like I'm not jaded, that I'm still really genuinely excited to be there and to be with these people and these at these amazing places that I get to go.
I was following you on your Instagram and I had noticed that, obviously you're doing things with pro camps and also for All-Star Weekend. And, you mentioned obviously this is about basketball. You're a huge basketball fan. Do you ever get the courage to maybe want to challenge somebody to like a 3-point shootout or maybe like a skills challenge?
I think my skills are like you holding the microphone. I don't know. I'm not trying to challenge anybody, but I get out there every once in a while. Like I was a pretty good basketball player up until like, ninth grade. And then it got serious in high school. Like I was on AAU teams and traveling around. Like I got the skill set somewhere within me. But then I realized when I was a freshman in high school, went to Shaker Heights High School that year, I think my high school was ranked like third in the country. They were like really good
Oh
that year.
yeah.
So I could have been the 12th guy on the team. Like I could have made the team and never played, right? And just been on, like worn the jersey and the sweatsuit around school and felt cool, but like dedicated my high school life to grinding and hustling and practice and never playing. And I was like, nah, you know what? I'm going to be the announcer of the team and have a life and do what I do. So that was kind of the transition point. And I feel comfortable with that decision. I was not going pro or anywhere close to it. I can get out there and like not embarrass myself, and that's all that matters. Like I can have fun with it. So I'm a streaky shooter, and if you do a deep dive on my Instagram, you'll see I host a podcast with former NBA All Star Baron Davis,
I was
and
actually gonna hit on that.
yeah, he hosts a lot of watch parties at his studio. So we had some for the NBA Finals. There was a 3-point contest, and you can see it on IG. I did pretty well. I got fired up about it. Yeah. So I still got it in me a little bit.
I love it. Speaking about 3-point contests and 3-point shooters, I was a pretty good player. When I played in high school, I don't know if you got a chance to look at any like my stories on Instagram or anything, but we were actually shooting around because the staff that was working for the G League and getting ready to work All-Star Saturday, we were allowed to shoot around a little bit,
Nice.
but the rules was we weren't allowed to post it, which was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And I went about like 4 for 6 from the 3-point line, just having some fun. And I
Okay.
was just like, you know what, this is cool, but I was slowly starting to work up a sweat. I'm like, you know what? I better chill out because if I take this hoodie off, it's about to get real. And I gotta remember, I'm here to host, not hoop.
Yeah. If you start hosting and you're already like dripping sweat, you got stains under your pits, it's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Oh
You got to look the
man.
part. Always look cool, calm, and collected. Don't let them see you sweat. So like you got to prove that like, yeah, you belong on a basketball court, but don't start sweating. Don't start dripping at the free throw line. Yeah.
Exactly. And you actually just mentioned the podcast that you host with Baron Davis. How did you cultivate that relationship?
It's funny, so I've lived in Los Angeles for about a decade or so now, and we would just cross paths all the times. Barron is someone who is so connected in so many different worlds. Like he's not only in the NBA world and the sports world, but also tech and business, entrepreneurship, music, culture, fashion. He's just like, he's everywhere and he's welcome everywhere. And he's like an influencer and a thought leader in so many spaces. So there'd be all these different events, whether I was working for a brand or a league or a sport, Baron Davis would show up and I would often interview him or we'd chat. And we got like a familiarity, a friendship. And one time, at maybe the fourth or fifth time meeting, he, asked for my number. I gave it to him, didn't think anything of it. 6 months out of the blue, I get a text message from Baron Davis. You the man. I'm like, what? My head is exploding. Like, what is this? What are you talking about? And we just formed this friendship. And then during COVID, during 2020, when so many of the opportunities of what I do for a living went away, no live sports, brands weren't spending money, no live events. It was tough. And I was bored, to be honest. Baron sent a tweet saying something about how he wanted to start a fantasy basketball show or podcast, that there isn't like really a good one out there. And I've done fantasy basketball since I was in middle school. Every single year, I'm a fantasy basketball junkie. I follow the NBA so closely. So I'm like, all right, let me capitalize on this. I know these players. It's a good way to follow the sport. So I hit him up. I was like, dude, I've been thinking the same thing. And he called me immediately. We had a 2-hour conversation. That Monday, I was at his studio and we started planning a show and a podcast together. And we've been working together ever since on a variety of things. And we just, we gel. Baron is a good guy, good people. And you never know when you're working with Baron Davis who you're going to meet, because like I said, he's in so many different worlds and he knows everyone and everyone loves Baron. So it's always exciting being a part of Baron Davis's superpower team that he's got going on.
I believe it. It also goes to show you the kind of person you are to even be affiliated and to have a friend like him. But you also got to think, man, you have a gift that a lot of people don't have. You've had your good days, you've had your bad days. How do you continue to persevere through everything?
Oh man, that's a good question. I don't know. I just try to believe in myself, in what I do for a living, and in what you do too. There's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of ebbs and flows. There's times where I'm crazy busy and I've got a lot of work and a lot of jobs, a lot of opportunities, and it feels like I'm on top of the world. That's how I feel about myself. But I try not to get too high, because I know that there's gonna be times when things slow down and I'm getting a lot of second places and close calls and I'm not working as much. And I know that it all evens out. And I just try to stay level-headed, not get too down in the down times, not get too high in the high times, and just try to just know that like I'm on the right path. I'm hustling, I'm grinding. See that poster over my shoulder, work hard and be nice to people. Like, that's it. It's pretty simple. It's like those two things, like work hard every single day, make sure that I'm not being outworked by anybody else, put in the time, the effort to be prepared, and just be nice to people. Be a good person. Be a good person to everyone, whether they're your superior or they're an intern. It doesn't matter like where they rank within what you're working on. Just be nice to people, and if you do those two things, good things will come from it.
Is that the advice that you would give to those that are up and coming like myself?
Yeah, I think so. To anybody, really. It's just like to work hard, like put in the effort, and whatever that means, get the reps in, do the work, be prepared. People often say to me, because I've had so many crazy experiences and jobs, they're like, man, you were so lucky. I just feel like I'm prepared. And when it's time for good luck to come my way, I'm ready for that. I heard a quote once. It was something like, and I might mess it up, but it was something like, luck is like a bus. Like if you miss this one, you can get on the next bus that comes through. But if you're not prepared, you won't be able to hop on, right? Something like that, where it's basically like, you got to be prepared to take that good luck, that good fortune, that opportunity when it's afforded to you. Because if you're not prepared, you haven't done the work, you're going to miss out on that.
I agree. Coming to the end, I understand you're a very busy man. You got a whole bunch of other things that you're doing. Heck, you probably got to go host something when this interview's over, which I ain't mad at you. The grind is real. I ain't mad at you, man. The grind is, yeah. So what things do you have coming up that the people can support and look forward to?
Well, the best place to follow everything that I'm doing is social media, specifically Instagram, like you mentioned, JZ Fish, JZFISH, and you can see a variety of all these adventures of things that I'm doing. I'm doing a lot with the NBA. I host 2 weekly series for them on their NBA Twitch channel and a lot of their social media content, which is a lot of fun. I do a lot. You mentioned pro camps. I do a lot of live events for them on various college campuses. Which is a blast getting to know like the next wave of NBA talent while they're still in school. It's really cool. I work with a company called Maxim Bet. Now that sports gambling is legalized in so many states, they're a legal sports book. And I don't tell you who to bet on, but I just kind of give you like a preview of like what's going down in the sports world on any given day so that people who are wagering on it know, oh yeah, I forgot this golf tournament's happening, or this big college basketball matchup. And that's a lot of fun. And you know what I'm really excited about? I'm launching my own podcast. For years I've thought about doing it, and almost like the imposter syndrome came in my head. It's like everyone has a podcast. Why do I need a podcast? Who cares, right? But no, it's a good thing to do. So I've actually already shot 18 episodes of it and haven't put it out yet, but it's going to come out sometime this spring. So stay tuned for that. I'll be promoting it on social media. It's called In the Zone with Jason Zone Fisher. And we've got some really big guests coming. I'm really, really excited. It's going to be fun.
I'm going to put this plug out there. If Jason needs a co-host or needs somebody to come work, holla at your boy, because clearly I can look good on camera. Just saying. Before we get out,
I feel underdressed today. You're looking the part, man. Yeah.
Well, I gotta always come prepared, man. True story. And I've shared this with her more than once. I was on a IG live, I think it was like a couple years ago with Carrie Champion.
Yeah.
And I totally did not think I was going to get picked. It was like 12:30 at night. Next thing I know, I got picked, but I had a wave cap on. And I was like, I totally forgot I had the wave cap on. So I said to her, I'm like, you have my word. Next time you see me, I'm going to be suited and booted the whole nine. And I've done a nice amount of interviews with suits and ties because I just want, the people to know that I'm serious about my craft and I'm serious about what I do. So I had to come, correct. Before I jump out of here, I asked this question to all of my guests. Who would you like to see on the Chris Gunther show? And if you have any connect or any pull, do you think you could help me out?
I like that question. I like that ask. That's how you make things happen like that. I would like to see LeBron James on the Chris Gunther show, and I have no pull or no connection there at all. But I'd like to see that. I would like to see that. Let me think. Who else? I mean, go ahead.
You do host a podcast with somebody I met at All-Star Weekend. And
Did you meet Baron? Did you meet him?
I did. I gave him my card and told him, hey man, I do a show. I would love to have you. And he said he would do it. I'm pretty sure he's a very busy guy. But if he gets a call from Jason Fisher, I'm pretty sure he would pick up.
All right. Well, when I'm with Baron next, I will mention it to him. Baron Davis would be a great guest on your show for sure. Baron is a great co-host, but he needs someone like me because Baron is doing so many different things that often how I get him to co-host the show is like this. I'm like, Baron, come for the show, and I like drag him on. So we'll try to make it happen at a time where I am there too, to remind him it's happening right now and get him focused to make it happen. But yeah, Baron Davis would be a good guest for sure. And then I got some other people I'm thinking of who are like in the media space, like yourself and I, who I feel like would love to be on a show like this, and you guys would vibe with. So I can, I don't want to put them on blast right now live in case they're, they don't want to do it, but I'll let you know, and I'll see if I can help there too.
I appreciate it, Jason. I know you got to get out of here. I just wanted to tell you, thank you for taking this time out with me, man. I greatly appreciate it. If anybody wanted to get your social media handles again, can you give us that information?
Yeah, JZ Fish, JZFISH. That's the best place to follow me. Follow all the adventures. Lots of fun stuff coming and launching soon.
Nothing else needs to be asked. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Fisher on the Chris Gunther Show. Thank y'all for watching. See y'all next time. Jay, appreciate you, my brother.
Appreciate you. Keep grinding.